YouTube, Quinn Wade. Basketball analysis coming to y'all on YouTube. We gonna talk about the game one of the NBA Finals. My Celtics ended up blowing out the Mavericks. Really wasn't no competition. Even in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, got a little bit closer from the Mavericks perspective. They just made a small little run that didn't really do much for them because, like Porzingis said, they was able to get it back up to 25, and they was able to close it out in the fourth quarter. I feel like Jason Kidd gave a little bit of his rule book away, and he changed the team a little bit in that third quarter, going into that fourth quarter, and then at the start of the second quarter, showing some things and some lineups that you kind of want him to hide a little bit more because they basically exposed everything that they really wanted to do because the firepower of the Celtics is that good. We done seen it all season. This team can get hot from three. They can dribble. They can get to the paint. They can pass and find deadly shooters all around the court. And Porzingis, the MVP for a lot of people for today's game, he was able to get the mid range going. He was able to be an anchor in that paint. I love what I seen them from the 3 point line, and I like exactly the mentality coming out ready to score, ready to dominate, coming off an injury. And they had a history of being a little soft, being a little bit too finessey, but I didn't see that really today. He even had a power dunk today, showing that strength and that explosiveness that we really wanted from him earlier in his career. But he actually was able to get back to it with the Celtics, and this is the best he done looked in a while. And it's good to see him doing it in a winning fashion because we needed him to get off to that hot start in that first quarter, and he never really cooled off outside of getting benched for being gassed or not being ready to play that physical peak position that he can slowly get himself back into as the series continue because they have to play at least 4 games. But Jaylen Brown would actually be the next guy that I would give a lot of credit to. He was very switchable. He was very aggressive on the screens. He was looking to get steals. Kind of remember a lot of Drew Holiday and how he likes to pluck the ball away or how he likes to guard and for his guys to play with their back, going against the other basket or not being able to dribble the way they want to when they're at the top of the key. It really helped on Luka and Kyrie. Kyrie didn't shoot the ball well. This team is a two-man behemoth, and if you can slow down one, you have a huge chance of winning this game. They don't really have multiple scorers or multiple decision makers outside of Kyrie and Luka Doncic, but that's the team they built. That's the team that they wanted. This is the play style that they really made famous. And even though Luka didn't have the worst game, he didn't really have a huge dominant impact on this game. He had a lot of points that were just filling up the stat sheet like he usually does, but it shows you how far they really are away from being a championship team. But they did make best of their opportunity, and they can use it as a learning experience, and we'll see what happens in the future. But Tatum took a lot of wild shots, a lot of hero bally shots. Some shots he didn't really need to do, really need to take. He was just living in that moment where we didn't really have nothing to lose at that point, and he was just trying to get comfortable. But he ended up with 16 points, plus 19, and plus minus one personal foul. He had 6 huge turnovers, but we was able to compensate that with great defense. 1 block, 5 assists, 11 rebounds. So that's a double-double. We did need him on the boards early in the game so we can shut down the possession and start our possessions. And the rebound always ends your defensive stance. And Tatum was one of the big reasons why we got off to that huge lead because of his rebounding. 1 or 2 from the free throw line, 3 or 7 from the 3 point line, 6 or 16 from the field. Al Horford hit a three and he ended up hitting another one, and he just was spot minutes, and he did a great job defending and staying out the way and staying on them corners and at the top of the key, giving good floor spacing. 10 points, plus 7 and plus or minus, 2 blocks, 3 assists, 7 rebounds. 2 of them was offensive and 2 of 5 from three, 4 of 8 from the field. Drew Holiday had a very great game, played well in the fourth quarter to make sure the Mavericks didn't have that one last hurrah. 12 points, plus 20 and plus minus, 3 personal fouls. He had a great non-turnover game. He also did get 1 steal, 5 assists. He had 8 rebounds, helped gain rebound to make sure they don't have multiple possessions. 2 of them was offensive, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 from three, 4 of 9 from the field. Derek White, 15 points, +3 and plus minus, 3 personal fouls, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 5 assists, 1 offensive rebound, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 of 8 from the 3 point line, 5 of 11 from the field. And then Jaylen Brown, like I said, going through his a little quick, 6 of 11 from the free throw line. He did have some huge dunks, huge threes, especially at the corners. He was very good at telling people to get off the ball faster, so that way they don't have stagnated offense. But I did like his leadership, making sure the guys get the job done, doing their job, and he did a good job of doing his too. And Derek White was just very, very great at shooting the three. 3 of 8 from the 3 point line. He also was 5 of 11 from the field. 2 rebounds, 1 was offensive, 5 assists. 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, and +3. When it was time for Derek White to shoot, he didn't even think about it. He let that thing go as quick as he could every single time, and he actually ended up shooting pretty decent. And Brown ended up just trying to put the icing on the cake and make sure the job is finished as a leader. 22 points, +12 and plus minus, 3 personal fouls. He did have 2 turnovers where he over dribbled or overthought it, and they had stayed in front of him a little bit, making it a little tough for him. And we seen a little bit of him not being able to get past defenders. It's going to be something he's going to have to look into game 2, how to get better shot opportunities or how to switch up the matchup so he don't look as bad. Tatum had some of those too. 3 blocks, 3 steals, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 of 11 from the free throw line, 2 of 6 from the 3 point line, 7 of 12 from the field. Other guys, Sam Hauser came in, did what he does, spaced the floor, defends solidly. He's not a heavy minutes player, only played 16 today. 2 of 2 from the 3 point line, 3 of 4 from the field, 4 rebounds total, and 1 assist, +17 and plus minus 8 points. And then Luke Cornett, Big Net. Haven't said that in a while, but glad to see him be able to play in his first finals game, which came in a long time coming for him since 2022. It's been a long time for us. And 2 points, -3 and plus minus, 1 personal foul, 1 steal, 1 rebound. It was offensive and 1-on-1 from the field. And Kristaps Porzingis, the guy that some people thought was MVP tonight, really came into play. 20 points, +13 and plus minus. Came off the bench and was just huge. 1 personal foul, 1 turnover. He did have 3 blocks that really took the momentum out of the Mavericks. He was contesting and returning shots, forcing them to finish over length without fouling. He actually did only have 1 personal foul the whole game, and that just shows you how to be an anchor and still being able to stay in the game as long as you need to. He only played 21 minutes, 6 rebounds, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from the 3 point line, 8 of 13 from the field. Peyton Pritchard, 0 points, +4 and plus minus. He had 2 personal fouls, 1 turnover, 2 assists. One of them was offensive. And he was 0 for 7 from the field. Didn't shoot particularly well, but at least he was aggressive, looking for a shot. And that's what you're going to need him to do in the next game. And Mekhi Luke, 1-on-1 from the field, -1 and plus minus, 2 points. Everybody else didn't play, coach's decision. And then the Mavericks, it's not much to say about them, but they have a lot to figure out. In the first quarter, the Celtics outscored them 37-20. In the second quarter, 26-22. In the third quarter, they actually won that one, 24-23. In the fourth quarter, they won it 23-21. But when you look at the grand scheme of it, where are they going to find guys that can actually score and make a difference in a long haul of 48 minutes? And I just don't see it. Like PJ Washington did what he usually does. 14 points, -15 and plus minus, 3 personal fouls, 1 assist, and 8 rebounds. 3 of them was offensive, 4 or 6 from the free throw line. He was 0 of 3 from the 3 point line, 5 of 11 from the field. But if they're going to take the 3 point shot away, like we knew that they would, because the Celtics have the ability to switch everything, then you kind of have to find a way to impact the game. And PJ Washington did exactly that. But He just couldn't make the threes. But if you add the threes, would it make that much of a difference? No, they still lose by double figures. Derrick Jones was doing good defensively, but he just had no spots to where he can actually score like other series. But this is a different team, and this is a different build of a team. And he only ended up with 5 points, negative 12 and plus minus, one personal foul, one steal, 6 rebounds, 1 or 2 from the 3 point line, 2 of 9 from the field. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but Gafford, he didn't have the dominant performance that people have hyped him up because he has had them in the playoffs. He only was 8 points, negative 10 and plus minus, one steal, one assist, 3 rebounds. They was offensive, 2 or 2 from the free throw line, 3 or 3 from the field. And when you look at that, the fact that you had a guy like Jaden Hardy and PJ Washington be the two guys that was able to score double figures in this game for the Dallas Mavericks. One of their biggest ones just couldn't step up. And it's unfortunate. Like you have games where you know it's going to be tough, you know it's going to be respect, and you're going to have to put up where you shut up, and you're going to have to dominate. Kyrie was the guy that actually let Luka down a little bit in this game, and the whole team and the whole Mavericks organization. But it's only one game, 12 points, negative 19 and plus minus. He did have 2 personal fouls. He had 3 turnovers. He was getting suffocated, but he still was trying to find a way to make an impact and find a way to score, and it just didn't work out that way. And the defense did a great job on Boston's side, making him think, making him over dribble, getting him out of his comfort zones, and making him actually go out there and score the basketball. And they did the same thing to Luka. 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 0 of 5 from three for Kyrie, and 6 of 19 from the field. That's a shutdown. Luka Doncic, he shot 4 of 12 from 3 point and 12 of 26 from the field. Not the greatest game offensively. He did grab 10 rebounds in this game, but they locked down the assists. He only had one total this entire game. He had 2 steals, 4 turnovers, one personal foul, negative 10 and plus minus. He did get his 30. He did go 2 for 5 from the free throw line, which isn't great. You got to make every possession matter if you're trying to win a championship, especially when you're not really close offensively or defensively to the team that you're going against. And this game was a perfect example of that. But 10 rebounds was the highlight of this game because that's what they needed to do is have a way to get more possessions. And this team did a decent job with Jerry Jones Jr. and PJ Washington getting a couple offensive rebounds, but it wasn't enough to turn the tide in their favor and give them an actual chance to win since they was basically done after the first quarter. Kleber, 2 points, negative 10 and negative 15 and plus minus, 2 personal fouls, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 assist, 101 from the field. We also seen Lively be shut down completely like Gafford. 2 points, negative 15 and plus minus. He did have 5 personal fouls, two turnovers, and he only had 4 rebounds and one was offensive. Then Green, he played a lot of minutes. Didn't expect him to play a lot of minutes this game, but they needed some speed and some athleticism. He didn't really alter any shots to do anything crazy. He kind of just added more pressure and didn't really make that much of a difference defensively like they probably would have thought, but now they know for sure, and they're going to have some film on it. 3 points, negative 5 and plus minus, 3 rebounds, one offensive rebound, 101 from 3 point line, 104 from the field. And the last person is Jaden Hardy. He's a young guy. He's never afraid of the moment. He can defend a little bit. He can attack the basket. He can make decent reads, and he can shoot the three. I liked him in the G League. He has gave them good minutes in a couple series, and he actually was a combo guard like they drafted him in the second round to be, and he has lived up to that for the most part. He's not supposed to be a big scorer, but he does get to double figures, which shows you he has a lot of potential to be special. He just can't play with the ball in his hands too much because of Kyrie and Luka, but at least he still finds his niche and still makes a difference. 13 points for him, negative 3 and plus minus, one personal foul, 1 assist, 3 rebounds, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He was 1 of 3 from the 3 point line, which isn't terrible. He was also 4 of 8 from the field. But what I learned from the game is something that I said in my finals preview. It's going to be a lot of switching, a lot of denies for the Mavericks getting 3-point shots. Luka and them are going to have to be superstar scorers like they've been advertised and like they've been playing. But even if Kyrie plays better and even if Luka does a similar performance, who is going to be those guys that's going to step up like the people like Porzingis and Derek White and Drew Holiday? Those guys are like guaranteed to show up. And I can't say the same thing for like the Dallas Mavericks. And this is something that we all know and we all know to be true. And Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard are guys that can come right in off the bench and get hot and get right to those same spots that the starters sit in and still give shot making ability coming off the bench. And I would agree that this series was something interesting to see because they have the same type of problem with Tatum taking those wild, crazy shots and being able to make them, being able not to make them, and getting fast breaks opportunities for opponents, or being able to get back in the game because those long stretches of not being able to make shots. I feel like the Mavericks have more of a team like that, and the addition of Drew Holiday and Derek White just allow you to always have that guy saying, pass it, give me the ball, move off the ball, switch up some of your stuff. And that's what they just don't have guys like that yet on the Mavericks, and they have a bunch of them on this team. And just seeing all these players in double figures for the Celtics just spells a defeat, for the Mavericks. All you can do is give them credit for making here, competing, showing up, and not giving up until the Celtics had to finally put them away. But since the Celtics showed, like a team like Indiana, that we will fight to the very end, if that's what it takes to put you away, that's the type of mastery that you need to have if you want to be the defending champs or you want to be the champs. And that's what you have to do. You have to put them away. You have to take it from them because you want it to. And the Celtics have a lot of guys that will scrap you, fight you for a loose ball. And I don't really see a lot of it with the Mavericks. I've seen a lot of complaining, a lot of anger that things wasn't going their way, but they wasn't able to figure out how to get it done. And the Celtics was doing the opposite all the time in the playoffs. And the Mavericks just was getting away by being able to score a lot of points and just being able to have a higher lead with a cushion and trying to coast a little bit to the victory. And if it works, it works. Can't complain about that. But the Celtics going to come at you defensively and offensively. And I can't say the same about the Mavericks. And that's what I learned so far. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. And hope you guys is ready for game 2. Let me know who y'all picking to win. Is it Boston? Is it the Mavericks? Is y'all going with the best player in the series, who I don't think is on the Mavericks? I think it is on the Celtics, and that's why you have 2 Finals MVPs from different conferences, and now you know who wants to step up the most, who takes it more serious, and who's more driven. And we got that on the Celtics. Other than that, I'll see y'all later.